Hey Aurora, it's me Keith. It's been a little while since I've given you an update, and there are some updates that I'll be sharing with you pretty soon, hopefully. But today I want to talk specifically about some objections that were filed against three mayoral candidates, John Lash, Karina Garcia, and Jasmine Garcia. So these objections are baseless, but the thing that they all have in common is that they allege that these candidates are working together as a de facto political party because there are some people who circulated petitions for multiple or all three of these candidates. And the objection even goes so far as to call Karina Garcia and Jasmine Garcia, the two Latina women on the ballot for mayor, sham candidates. So for some background information, here in Aurora, if 5 or more people get on the ballot for the same race, there will be a primary election, which in this election cycle will be held on February 25th. And then the 2 people who get the most votes in the primary will go to a one-on-one race in the consolidated election on April 1st. And then to win, you'll need over 50% of the vote. But if there are only 4 or fewer people on the ballot for this race, in this case the mayor, then there will be no primary, and they will all go to the consolidated election on April 1st, and then whoever gets the most votes wins, and in this case, it would most likely be less than 50% of the vote needed to win. So the objector is claiming that Jasmine Garcia and Karina Garcia are sham candidates who are only running to make sure that a primary happens, which first of all is ridiculous. But the reason this argument is being made is because they want to stop a primary from happening at all costs. So I've spoken to hundreds of voters, and something that I've heard very frequently is that people will say, I don't like Mayor Irvin, I will sign for anyone who is running against him. And I think the mayor also knows this. It'll be very difficult for him to get over 50% of the vote. I believe most of Aurora wants to see someone new in charge. And that is why the mayor wants to stop a primary from happening at all costs, so that the anti-Irvin vote gets split among multiple candidates and he can win with less than 50% of the vote, which I believe is his only path to winning. I'm not a lawyer, but the legal arguments that are made in this objection seem desperate and nonsensical to me. So the objection cites Section 10-4 of the Election Code, which contains the language saying that no person shall circulate or certify petitions for candidates of more than one political party. So this objection is both claiming that these candidates have formed a de facto political party, in their words, one single party, and then it also cites the election code, which states that people cannot circulate petitions for more than one party. So their argument, as I see it, is one political party is more than one political party, and I don't think you need to be a lawyer to understand that this is completely ridiculous. So not only is it perfectly legal for candidates to collaborate with each other and help each other get signatures, but it's also very normal. So other candidates who've submitted their petitions that I've looked at have circulators in common. I've seen other people circulating petitions for other people. This is perfectly normal, and it is not a valid reason to object to someone's petitions. Something that I think is less common is when someone uses their position on the electoral board to make sure that someone in their own de facto political party is allowed to stay on the ballot when an objection is filed against them. So about 4 years ago in 2021, my opponent, Ron Warman, was objected to based on his residency requirement. So during the hearing, he testified under oath that at the time he spent approximately 40% of the time in his 1-bedroom apartment here in Aurora and about 60% of the time in his house in Oswego where his family lived. Here's that clip.
Do you ever sleep in the Oswego residence?
Yes.
And how often do you sleep in the Oswego residence?
I never kept track because I didn't know I had to. I'm 60-40.
40, which being 60 and which being 40?
60 Oswego, 40-ish Aurora, give or take. Like I said, I didn't keep track.
I'm not under oath right now, but I can assure you that I live 100% of the time right here in Aurora in my house. So Mayor Irvin had to recuse himself as a member of the electoral board for these 3 mayoral candidate hearings. But what he did not recuse himself from is making ridiculous comments on Facebook. So here are a couple of recent Facebook posts that the mayor has made. So it would probably take me about an hour to debunk all of the lies that the mayor said in these two posts, and John, Jasmine, and Karina can defend themselves and have defended themselves. So I'm going to focus on two main points. In this first post from November 13th, the mayor claims that John Lash has never run any organization or business, and therefore he is disqualified to run for mayor. In my opinion, this is the mayor making it very clear what he thinks about working people. The mayor thinks that you must be a business owner and employer to be qualified to be in a position of power, whereas if you are an employee or a worker, you are unqualified and you should just stay out of it. In my opinion, this goes against the entire spirit of democracy. Most people in Aurora, most people in the United States are working people. We are not business owners, and I think we need to have adequate representation in the government, and currently that is not the case. It seems to me that people like Mayor Irvin and Ron Warman are representing wealthy business owners over the working people who are the majority of Aurora. This is clear when you look at the millions or tens of millions of dollars in some cases that the city is able to find for corporations such as the casino. Meanwhile, when a sound wall needs to be built along Orchard Road, the city just simply cannot find the money for this and says that they need to raise the property taxes of people living along Orchard Road to pay for it. Then, in the mayor's second post on November 18th, he claims that John, Karina, and Jasmine are only serving a fraction of the city, which is kind of funny coming from him when he clearly only serves the wealthy and does not care about working people. Also, the mayor knows that the majority of the city does not want him to continue being mayor, so he is only serving a fraction of the city by trying to prevent a primary from happening. So with all that being said, I can tell you I'm a 100% full-time resident of Aurora, and like most people in Aurora, I am a worker. Now, there are a lot of locally owned businesses that are great around here, but I think that working people need to have a voice too. What I've seen in city council meetings is that people like Mayor Irvin and Ron Warman do not serve working people, and I think that void needs to be filled. That is why I'm running against Ron Warman, and that is why all of these candidates are running against Mayor Irvin. If you're interested in seeing the outcome of these sham objections, the final hearings will be held tomorrow morning, November 25th, Monday, at 8 a.m. on the second floor of City Hall. If you would like to go in person, Jasmine Garcia has a public Facebook event. You can say you're going on there. And if you would like to live stream it, there are a few different options. John Lash has been live streaming on his Facebook page. Karina Garcia will be live streaming on her Facebook page, I believe. And the City of Aurora's YouTube channel will also be streaming this live. Unlike certain people, I think that anyone who is currently in office or is running for office should be accessible to the public, and that is why the comment sections on every platform I'm posting this on will be open. So I will be looking forward to seeing all of your feedback, and I'd just like to say thank you for watching. Bye.